Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed that little break and I hope you're enjoying the whole virtual food festival. I'm here in Lyme Regis, my hometown with the family, locked down in the kitchen, although somebody mentioned that it looks like I'm in a prison cell. I'm not, I'm enjoying every minute of what we're doing here. I'd like to say a few thanks to people who are already supporting us and have supported us since the beginning. Everybody who is now subscribed to the YouTube channel, it's great that you're doing that, and thanks for your comments, thanks for your questions, and thanks for all of your support. Tell your friends, all your foodie friends, anybody you know that might just have a spare hour or so on this Sunday so that we can actually help support the people who underpin the industry. And the way that you can do that is by visiting the crowdfunder website, where you can pledge your support. You can go via our virtualfoodfestival.org website too, and you can see a whole host of amazing rewards and prizes, things that money can't really buy, or at least cannot buy for the price that we're asking. So let's generate some cash for the producers and the suppliers, and let's really show them some love. Our next guest, well, ever since we announced that this next guest was going to appear, the whole world went into a spin. She's brilliant, she's super busy, she's super stylish, and she's going to create something magical for us. Please, can I welcome onto the screen, Gizzie Erskine.
Yes.
Hi, Gizzie.
Hi, darling.
Hello, my love. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm a little bit aware. As you know, after speaking to me very late last night, quite so, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. I've had a lot of help. I've got my very good friend Andrew Clark here, who's been giving me a lot of help.
The Andrew Clark.
The Andrew Clark. The Andrew Clark.
Oh my word. Well, listen, I know who Andrew is, but maybe if you just told our viewers back on YouTube who Andrew is.
Where to start with Andrew? Andrew has been the exec and the head chef of some of the best places. I first met you. Where did I meet you? In
Rita's back in my
yeah, Rita's, which you were head chef with, and then you kind of moved on. Basically, last seen at St Leonard's. Smashing it.
Yeah.
But also, like Andrew does some amazing stuff. He has a company called Pilot Light, which is looking after mental health for chefs, and he's going around the world and just doing really brilliant stuff. Being a person for us all, which is very cool.
Okay. Sorry, because I've got to tell you, you're winning in the best kitchen steak so far.
You have no idea. I'm very pleased. To be honest with you, it was quite a big ask. I was like, pink kitchen? How's that going to go down? To be honest, I need to say I'm not a pink person. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd probably go jet black or like, or maybe like gold lame or something. But I settled on pink. Do you know what it was? I went to the when the sketch got redone. Did you go to the new sketch? And it was just so lovely, like all this lovely plush velvet and
my wife's been
and like gold ornate stuff, and it was so gaudy. Like, it's perfect. So
I love it. Gizzie, just could you do us a favour, because we want to see as much of your lovely kitchen as possible. Are you able to do landscape?
Oh, let me see. Can I? I don't know. We shall find out. I don't think I can actually. Oh, hang on. There we are.
Yeah.
That's it. Is that better?
Well, it's gone to landscape, but your image has stayed in profile, so it looks like.
How do I do that? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just put it back.
Hang on. What do I do? Is it?
No, fine.
Oh, I can see. Hang on. I can see.
It's a bit like being on the Titanic then for a minute.
Like, whoa. Is there a button which says which one to do?
Don't worry, darling. That's fine. We can.
I did warn you. I can manage to run a business, but cannot for the life of me do anything with technology or go to the post office.
Talking about business, you're talking about doing the business. You're killing it. I saw you yesterday,
Mm.
front page of Grazia.
I know, that was pretty huge. I know, to be honest with you, I was like, about bloody time. It was cool. I was blown away. They did, I don't know, it's really nice. What I feel like this year has done is it's kind of reinforced exactly where I want to be in the industry, which is still doing really nice, fun, creative things, you know, partnering with some really cool people. And I think the success of the Nitery meets the stuff that I'm doing with Giz and Greens with Professor Green. And like this new book.
Let's say hi to Professor Green.
Say hi to Professor Green. He's in Morocco. He went over with his girlfriend to look after her dad. His girlfriend's Moroccan before lockdown, and they 100% got stuck there. So he's now in Morocco, but they've just moved into an amazing house with a bloody huge pool, and I'm not feeling that sorry for him anymore.
Neither am I. Just on Grazia, I'm really delighted. I'm really delighted you made the front cover eventually. They asked me to do the centre spread, but I turned them down.
But that would have been a pretty picture. When I'm thinking of a centre spread, I don't think of it as a magazine like Grazia has one of those.
What are you going to cook for us, Gizzie?
I'm like, I think we're talking about a very different magazine.
Possibly.
And I'd love to see it, frankly.
Okay, well, all right. Maybe put it on crowdfunder as a pledge and get £2. What are you going to cook for us?
So I'm cooking with one of my really brilliant friends, Matt Chatworth. He has the Cornwall project. Oh no! Oh, there we go. That's our cull. So I'll hang on. Let me just get it out because we're going to have to do this in 2 different sections because we needed what I made earlier. Because I'm basically roasting a lamb, and the lamb. I say lamb. It's not lamb. It's hogget, which is slightly older lamb. It's beautiful, really dry meat. The thing about Matt's production is what he gears entirely towards is looking after his animals in rewilding the areas. Rewilding is the wrong word. It's regenerative farming, and we'll talk to him a bit later about it because I feel like I'm not going to do it justice in the way that he'll be able to explain it. But Matt, I've known from the beginning of my career. I think I met him maybe when I was at St John. I don't know. He was working for Fish for Thought years ago, so I can't even remember what year it was. And then this little dude used to come around my house with loads of lovely produce to trial, and it was really, you know, we just became really good friends. And he's then started farming his own. He was working with producers to begin with and looking at the soil, and then his mum's bred sheep for a long time. They just decided to take it up a notch. So I'm cooking. Well, that was a long way to get around to saying what I'm cooking. I'm cooking just a really good classic roast lamb because it's Sunday and Sunday lunch. I'm going to show you how to do a really quick one and how to get a more bang for your buck when you're getting high quality meat, because it does come at a premium, but you can actually do loads with it. Okay, so I got given a whole leg and it was a monster. It was, I mean, a hogget leg is probably twice the size of a lamb leg. And so we've butchered it down into 3 pieces. So the nice thing about that is that when you're cooking for, you know, we always assume that when you're making a roast, you're cooking for, you know, a whole family, but a lot of the time it's not. A lot of the time it's up to 4 people, which is perfect. Yeah. So we're able to use this, these different pieces. And so I'm going to show you, basically, I've got my one out here resting, which will be nice and pink. I'm going to be serving that with a gratin of, by the way, this is stuffed with very seasonal wild garlic, so which you get everywhere. I got mine from my friend Andrew's fridge. So, but it's banging season. It's a really, really delicious. I'm just going to turn the light down a bit because I think I'm a bit bright.
Hang on, you can do it from there. You can turn your light down from there.
Oh God, you've got to catch up with the program. I've got this whole setup these days. It's ridiculous. I vowed I'd never come in the blogger remit. I vowed I would never do this. but lockdown has made me do talking to camera stuff. I'm actually just going to clean my lens as well. I'm a bit worried that it's a bit smudgy. That's better. There we go. There I am. So I've stuffed that with wild garlic and loads of salt and pepper. So we didn't even bother making a pesto. It was all hand chopped, really lovely, simple and fresh, and then tied, which I'm going to desperately try and show you. I might actually get Andrew to show us because his skills are far superior to mine. And then I'm going to be serving it with a gratin of one of my favourite beans. When I grew up, my mum used to make this really delicious flageolet that we used to have with lamb in it. She used to just toss through probably just the lamb jus, really, with a load of the lamb fat, and it was absolutely delicious with a bit of rosemary. But I've sort of like made this a bit more gaudy, which is sums me up in a nutshell. So I've got some cream, some anchovies, some rosemary. I'm going to put the little flowers of the wild garlic in it. I'm going to cook that down with some confit garlic, and then we're going to finish it. We're going to gratinate it with cheese. So it's going to be very delicious. So just quickly, I should probably get on, shouldn't I? Because I can talk for England and we might be here all day.
Well, you and me both.
So I don't know what you can see. So I'm going to bring things up to you. So we've cut this into, I mean, here are the two pieces that we've got left. So you can see, first of all, I just want to show you the quality of the meat. The bark there it's thick, but it's sort of, inside it's sort of like encasing this really lovely dry meat. And that will come down to,
a little bit higher, sorry.
Sorry?
Sorry, my darling, just there you go. Amazing.
Yeah. So that's the bark's fairly thick, but then on the inside the meat is dry. Yeah. You know, and that means it's been, well, first of all, it means it's been grown properly, slowly, as it should be, as nature intended. But it also means that it's been hung and butchered properly as well. So we'll talk to Matt about that later on. So then you can
We're talking about Matt Chatfield, aren't we?
Matt Chatfield. I love Matt so much. Okay, so and then we've got two pieces. I'm actually going to roll up one in exactly the same way as we've done. Show you how to do it. This cooked in like, how many minutes was it in here? 20. We should probably check We should check the temperature of this one. Hang on a second. Might actually give that to you to do, so I can carry on. We are social distancing while hanging out. So here you go, darling. Cool. We'll get Andrew on in a bit, but obviously we're still doing our 2 meters apart.
Just saying hi to Andrew.
Hi, just stick your head around. He's coming in. Hi, mate.
Hey, mate, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Nice to see you.
Yeah. We've hung out a bit, haven't we, Jack?
That's not Jack.
It's not Jack.
No, it's Stephen.
Stephen. No, I haven't met Stephen. Hey, Stephen, how are you?
All right, mate. Nice to see you, David.
Okay, so I'm going to get on quickly and make this flageolet gratin. Oh, no, I'm not. Because I'm back in the room. I'm going to just quickly show you how to what I've done. So I've got a load of chopped wild garlic in there, and I'm just going to mix that with some olive oil and some salt and pepper, not just enough to make a sort of paste, really. You don't want it to be, I'll show you what it's going to look like. Quite a lot of salt. I mean, I would season the meat as well as the stuffing. I'm going to save one of these pieces of meat. I think that's what I was trying to say. And the bit that looks like it's got the most sinew in it, I'm going to go for this bit, I think. I'm going to keep, because I can make a braise out of that. So out of this one huge leg of lamb, I'm probably going to get, I mean, if depending on how many people it's going for, there's 3 of us today. I mean, we could get easily 7-8 meals out of this. Easily, probably even more. So, right, so I'm going to put that one to the side. Thank you. And then I'm just putting some pepper on the inside of this meat. And then I'm going to put, so I've got this wild garlic, and you can see it's sort of like a sludge now. See that?
Yeah.
It smells incredible. I feel like everyone's starting to know what wild garlic is, but still, some people still don't know. So it's wild garlic is a leaf. It sort of grows everywhere. It's a sort of thing where you probably have to be careful if you're in a park and you come across some wild garlic, the likelihood is it's going to be covered in dog wee, because they do like to have a wee in a wild garlic. So you really want to give it a good clean when you get it. But it is absolutely, it's like you're walking through a field of garlic, but it's grassy as well. So annoyingly, I'm just going to wash my hands.
And the other thing, Gizzie, just while you're washing your hands, is wild garlic. The wild garlic's fairly easy to recognise, isn't it?
I mean, you can't miss it.
It smells so wonderful.
It's intense. It hits you straight away, and it's really delicious. I am actually, Andrew. I'm going to get you to. I'm going to get him to actually show you how to wrap this, just based on the fact that we come around this way.
Brilliant.
And then what I'm going to do, while Andrew's showing you that, just quickly, I'm going to boil. I've got these flageolet beans. Okay, these have been cooked. They're cooked to the point where they're still quite firm, but they're cooked through. I'm going to boil them in some really good quality cream, really thick cream,
Nice.
with some confit garlic. Let me show you, which is possibly the worst confit garlic I've ever made. It was almost fried garlic. So garlic that you should cook it very, very slowly in oil until it squishes. Oops, and becomes a paste. Okay.
Nice.
And some anchovies, lovely high quality anchovies, and then we're going to boil them down with the beans. Once they're going to start to thicken, I'll show you, and then we're going to put them in the gratins and cover them in cheese.
Wow.
So I'm going to get Andrew to show you exactly how you're going to be rolling that while I'm doing this in the background.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so Andrew,
I'm going to make a cut in this. I'm going to stuff it right in now.
Okay, so
just so we can fold this better.
That's such a neat classic.
We'll just get that one.
Andrew, it doesn't matter if you're cutting against the grain or anything. It's just to get the stuff.
Not for this. I'm just making a little channel where we can just stuff all that in, and then we'll flip it over. And we're just going to tie this. I can do this quite quickly, so I guess.
Andrew, are you going to lace it, or are you going to do individual knots?
I will lace it. So yeah, I tie a little loop at the top.
Hang on a sec. Can we just drop the camera down a little bit, because this is going to be great. Sorry.
Want to do that? Yeah.
Thanks, Giz. Perfect. There you go.
All right, you got it?
Yeah, got it.
Let's do that. So we just tie a little knot at the top, like so.
Yep.
If I can even do that. I've got very oily hands now. Okay. And then there's this little motion of making a loop, like so, and then pull it back. And I do it like inch intervals. So you just see that little loop. It's just about turning it, and then you've got and it's very, very slidey. So just hoping it doesn't fall on the floor. How's that looking?
It looks amazing. It's a bit like watching Close-Up Magic by David Blaine.
I'll be doing this in the street when we're allowed out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'd watch it. So, yeah. Andrew?
Yes.
Do you do all the Christmas presents? Do you wrap all the Christmas presents at home?
I actually wrap them in foil just for that extra culinary touch.
It's nice work. And
so, can you explain to us exactly how this is going for you guys as well? Like, what's happening? What's happening your end?
Well, it's a really good question, Gizzie, because I'm in the kitchen at home, and I'm sat at the kitchen table. Although people keep saying it looks as if I'm sat in a prison cell, and my wife Ellie, who's really the brains behind this, is kind of driving everything.
Incredible, by the way. Thank you for everything, Ellie. I want to say.
That she's saying that's okay, and our three daughters are just running amok upstairs and eating chocolate in the bed, watching movies, total long distance parenting, and
it's like it's all gone feral, and I'm loving it. How?
Yeah, it's all right.
There's awful things going on out there.
I
But I
know, I
think,
know.
you know, doing stuff
Voila.
like this. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
So what we would then do is we would season this heavily, brown it off in a pan, which we can do behind you. We're going to brown it off in a pan. Here we are, and salt, pepper, and then this is a little bit thinner, so probably a bit of a lesser cook. So, but the internal temperature you want to get to is about 50.
51, I would go
Yeah,
to.
because it's gonna in the resting, it's gonna it will continue to cook, you know.
Yeah, and
When Andrew's oh my god, are you kidding me?
That's it.
You.
That's the other one.
Hey.
Gizzie,
Yeah.
can I bring on my old chum Jack Stein to chat with you and Andrew?
God, yes, you can. Does he want to? Here we go. Hang on. We'll bring it up.
So, thank you, darling. We're going to looking good. We're going to be bringing Jack on, who's currently sipping champagne in the green room. And
for God's sake, every time I see that boy,
know.
he's drinking champagne these days, living the life.
I made that bell. There he is. Look, can you see him? Is that with mine?
Oh, yeah, I can hear him. I can hear what sounds like a baby.
Hello.
Aww, Jack.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, mate. Hi.
Can you say hello to Arla?
We've not met yet.
I know she's
Hey.
she's a lockdown baby. She doesn't know anything else.
Yeah, I know. Bloody hell. How's Lucy getting on?
Yeah, we're doing great. Thanks for coming on this, and obviously thanks a lot.
It's an absolute joy to be doing it.
Yeah, look at I made a veggie patch.
Uh-huh.
Vegetables.
You got
I
your
grew
veggie patch?
Well, actually, Ross
Okay.
gave them to me as seedlings.
You are
I
doing
haven't grown
some
anything.
work.
Say what?
You are doing some work.
What are you drinking
Every
there,
time I see you, you've got a glass of champagne in your hands.
I'd just like to say thanks, Andrew, as well for helping out, and I love your beer.
I know.
You didn't realise that wasn't me. That's not my voice. Steve's got a much posher voice than me. Just like to say thanks a lot, guys. And we'll say goodbye now. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
See you, Jack. That's great to see the family.
That baby is so good.
He's
Lucy and Jack make some very good babies. Lucy and Jack make some very beautiful babies.
Yes, apparently so.
Look, I've got in here now. I've let this cook to a point where it's starting to reduce, but everything's sort of like coming together. I'm going to let that cook now a little bit longer. I'm now going to put the anchovies in here.
Okay.
Oh, that was such a nice surprise. So I'm going to put them, you can tear them up, you can chop them up. I'm going to actually put these in whole. I just think that it's quite, I love anchovies. I love seasoning, I love the salt.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't you take that off just because of that? And we can finish it later. Basically, I've just decided to take that off because I can't really hear anything. But essentially, the cook is you brown it in the oven. What was the final cook on that?
So it was about 20 minutes, 25 minutes for
Yeah.
the other piece. Slowly for 51 degrees.
Okay. So it was 25 minutes, and you need 51 degrees internal temperature. Let it rest for about 30 minutes until it's perfectly cooked. And we'll make a little quick pan gravy with that as well. But in the meantime, I'm just going to transfer the gratins, into these lovely. What's the name of our mate who makes these?
Matt.
The company is. Say again. Okay, they love lovely British gratins from somewhere that I can't pronounce. Skepshot.
They're lovely cast iron pans.
So I just
it's Matt Frogger,
oiled them with garlic oil made from the confit garlic.
Yeah.
And this is definitely cooking down, guys. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to season it in a sec. The one thing I've forgotten to bring out, which I really want to actually, is some bloody nutmeg. I can't find it anywhere, but it's in here somewhere. Hang on, bear with me because it's worth it.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's fine. Tell you what I'm going to do. I can't find nutmeg, so for the last few minutes of cooking, I'm going to just put a piece of mace in there. But just great about a quarter thing of nutmeg in now. I'm going to pull the mace out though. You need to know where you put it.
But Gizzy,
Yeah.
mace and nutmeg are very close, aren't they?
They are the same nut.
Yeah.
So the mace is the sort of like weird. It's actually, I've got a bit of a like, you know that trianglophobia thing where you're scared of weird holes and weird shapes. I've got a bit of that, and mace is a bit scary. It's the thing that goes around the nutmeg and sort of holds it together. Yeah. But it's got it makes me feel a bit sick, but it's delicious. It tastes like nutmeg, but more. Nutmeg's most definitely a spice. I think that the mace is more of an aromatic. Okay. Would that be fair to say?
I think I'm going to be passing that off as my own saying from now on.
Yeah. Right. So my reduction is now cream reduction is now very much reduced.
It's like doing a workout, lifting those Le Creuset up to the camera.
I know. I've actually been working out loads. Have you?
Well, I cycle a little bit, but you know, we live in the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, now I need to season that with salt and pepper. I'm also going to put in at the end of this these beautiful little. These are wild garlic flowers. They're so pretty. I'm going to put a couple of those in. I might save a couple for garnish on top as well. I'm going to fish out. Hang on, I've not done the pepper yet. I'm going to fish out the rosemary and the bay that I put in there, but leaving everything else in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a bite of everything as you go through it, you know. But you don't want to bite a big lump of rosemary, do you, or a lump of bay? Yeah,
it's a bit woody, isn't it? I love the fact that you've put double garlic in. You've put the kind of culture garlic and the wild garlic in.
I do. It sounds really gaudy and horrible, but again, that sums me up in a nutshell. One of my most famous dishes is wet and wild Kievs, and I just think that's. I love the fact that wet and wild to me is an absolute dirtbag way of looking at something. So I'm quite impressed with the fact I got that into a recipe.
But do you know what though? The other thing that you're really good at is I love your thing on fakeaways.
It's good, isn't it? I'm really pleased with where that's gone. Yeah. I mean, so Professor Green and I have been very good friends for. I can't even remember when we probably met. I DJ'd for him when I'm going to say about 9 years ago. Yeah. And he requested me because he wanted like rock and roll, and people didn't assume that that's what he was into. Then I found out like he'll probably kill. Well, no, he won't kill me because he's got really good music knowledge. His favorite band's Nirvana, and he loves, you know, he used to be a skater, and he's, you know, he's kind of like, he's not what you'd expect, you know, but he's actually a very mild, lovely, sweet boy. And I just, we just kicked it off straight away, and we've just become like best mates. You know, he really is my best friend. We speak easily 10 times a day. It's kind of insane. Both because we're kind of manic, frenetic, needy people, I imagine. But he really is one of the love. You know, my mum loves him. He comes to our house for Christmas dinner. Yeah, he's his fucking dream. He really is.
He's a nice guy, it seems.
Have you met him?
No. Only in the record shops.
Only in record shops. Right. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to put on top of this. I'm going to put on. So what I would normally do is put Gruyere, but I forgot to buy some Gruyere, which is also another classic Gizzy move. So I've got some lovely aged Parmesan, and then I'm also going to do my friend Ewan Venters. Do you know Ewan?
I know of him.
Yep. So Ewan sent me the most wonderful balls. Basically, Ewan is Fortnum and Mason. Yeah. He is Fortnum and Mason, and he just sent me some lovely truffles cheddar. So I'm going to shove that on just to make it even more gaudy as well. It's going to be my new term, my new USP, gaudy Gizzy.com. Yeah. How was Rick this morning?
Yeah, he was great. And do you know what? You share a kind of foodie trajectory with Rick, because Rick started off as a DJ.
Yeah, I know. We talk about it a lot. Rick's a riot. Like, again, somebody you'd be very surprised about, you know? I reckon he's got lots of naughty stuff. But him and his family, you know, they've always been so good to me, like
Yeah.
so brilliant.
I've got an idea, Gizzie.
Huh?
I've got an idea. The next time we do a virtual food festival, why don't you and Rick do a back-to-back set with Professor Green?
What, DJing? That's actually not such a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Stephen hates DJing though, but I can do it. I love it.
Okay, I'm paying to see.
That's actually a really fun idea.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna these ready to go. So now I'm gonna pop these in under the grill. I'm gonna gratinate these under the grill just from a speed perspective. You can put them in the oven as well. So you've got this.
Yep. See.
Terrible.
Yep.
These little gratins. Very hot grill. It shouldn't take long at all. And then we can start plating it up.
Brilliant.
So I would go very simple with the plating on this. I just feel like we're going to make a pan juice quickly.
Yeah.
From the resting of the meat. And I've got some, because when you buy this quality meat, they send you the bones and everything. So I've made a lamb stock. Actually, I just want to show you some of the extras that we've made from it. So Matt sent through, I asked for a pluck or two. And the pluck is the whole of the intestines, basically. Not the intestines, it's the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, the heart.
Yeah, the internal organs.
Yeah. And because I wanted to make faggots, so he sent me a load of cull. I mean, and these are going to be the most delicious faggots you've ever made. It's kind of like this is based on a Fergus Henderson recipe, but it's actually been, that's not made normally using pork. And I've kind of gone a bit more with there's a lot more black pepper and there's a lot more nutmeg and things like that in here. So I'm very excited about building these in the cull, which is soaking later.
It sounds like you've gone a bit gaudy on this one.
Classic. Classic gaudy Gizzie. And then we've also got, with the help of Andrew, because I really needed some help to do this, was these are haggis sausages.
Wow, amazing.
So, which is really, really cool. I guess like the message for this is not just using your good producers, but being adventurous and playful with the produce that you have, not throwing away any of the bits. You know, we've made the lamb stock out of the lamb bones, and we've got like a lot of food here. You know, there's no messing around. We've got a lot of food for not actually that much money. I mean, it's a nice produce is expensive, but it's worth it. And if you're clever, you can make it go far, you know?
Yeah, totally. Gizzie, can you just remind me where you can buy the produce?
So, we might have to, where I buy it is, I'm lucky, I live in market at Hills and Straw. But I would just go to Instagram and go to the Cornwall project.
Yeah.
We'll be speaking to Matt in a minute, won't we?
Yeah, we will, because he does like Warren on the Pass too, yeah?
Yeah, so he does Warren's Butchers as well.
Yeah. Gizzie, while you're having a quick sip of a well-deserved drink, can I ask you, did you take most of your culinary learning? Do you still continue to refer back to your time at Leeds, or has it progressed more?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, that year was invaluable. I learned so much, but I was already chefing before I went to Leeds, so it sort of was really just cementing what I wanted to do. I'd been working at E&O in Notting Hill for a while because of my friend Will Ricker. I was working under Ian Pengelly for a while, and then I went to Leeds, and sort of during then I ended up doing loads of stagiaires all over the place, and ended up. But yeah, I mean, Leeds is an amazing school. It is an amazing school. I think it's an expensive school. I was very privileged. I absolutely know my privilege in that situation, in that I had an inheritance that allowed me to go, and it meant that I could study in a year. But, you know, there are so many brilliant, you know, schools. Like Westminster College is one of the best in the world. Yeah. So, and that's just a regular, you know, and so many big people have come out of Westminster. I mean, I love Leeds. I have no bad words to say about it, but I also, you know, I grafted, and I was just lucky. I had enough money just to get in on the course, but I was broke for the whole thing, and it was a frustrating thing when nobody else was. and everyone else could do their homework and do all that sort of stuff. Well, I had to work day and night to be able to survive to do it, which is fine and it's good. And it meant that I came top of the whole school because I was
exactly. You
a
can
nerd,
still see your name in gold
I had to really
letters.
work for it. Huh?
You can still see your name in gold letters on the board.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
That's
I'm
good.
on a big board.
Yeah.
Never won anything in my life. Everything. My life is like the only things I've won in my life have been like I did a drawing, and my sister stole it off me, and she won. That's like what happens to me. I don't win things.
That's
right,
what sisters do.
In fact, I'm actually going to leave these here just to keep them warm, but as you know, I'll take one out to show you. Just bear with me because I feel like I'm going to burn my hands off. Oh, by the way, I just want to say how impressed I am for the fact that I went to bed at 5 o'clock this morning. I hope you are too.
I was just getting up.
Jack will be impressed I went to bed at all, if I'm honest. Okay, so you can see this is like complete fascinated. Yeah. After this is done, I'm going to show you a plated. I'll show you a plated version, but you can see how beautiful and delicious. Yeah, it smells absolutely stunning. Right. Do we have time for me to make a little pan sauce, or shall I just sort of finish it? Should we chat to? I don't even know what the time is. Do we have time?
Yeah, we've got time. We can bring Matt on as well. Should we bring Matt on?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so we're gonna invite Matt over. You can do your pan sauce. That'd be really cool. And can I remind you, Gizzie, at the end, would you take a lovely picture for us?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll put a lovely picture and I'll write exactly what I've done on my my main wall on my Instagram, which is just Gizzie Erskine, at Gizzie Erskine. And I'm going to let you know, if I don't get to finish this while we're on the phone, I will carve it for you once we've made the sauce. But I'm going to be serving it just with some really simply dressed watercress. Some amazing watercress this week sent to me from Love Watercress.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are, and it was brilliant. They grow, it's the wasabi growers people and they have watercress growing with their wasabi. It's fucking delicious. Got that wasabi tang to it. Hi, mate.
Kai, you're all right. I'm just sorting out my camera.
How you doing?
How's everyone?
Hi, Matt.
Very well.
I'm just
nice
speaking
to see
off.
you, Stephen. Nice to meet you.
I'm really good, Matt.
All very excited.
Have you been able to see this? Have you been watching?
Yeah.
I hope I'm doing you justice.
Yeah, next to just to see it being cooked was really weird. It's like quite surreal. Actually seeing being cooked properly. And Andrew, to be honest, Andrew's someone we wanted to supply for years. So to see him cook with our meat's quite cool as well.
What? Who's saying that again?
Well, so we've been trying to supply Andrew for years. So actually seeing him cook with our meat.
Now he's going to be able to try it. So do you want to explain a bit more about the product and how it came about and what makes your product so special?
Yeah. You get me. So first of all, thanks very much for cooking with our meat and getting me on board and it's amazing what you're doing. I think we've Ross Geach, been known him for a long time, so really glad he's got it going. So basically, what I'm doing for about 10 years, I've been working with Philip Warren Butcher, so very successful retail butcher in Cornwall. We came up with the idea 10 years ago to supply London restaurants. Been doing that for like 10 years. I've been in London, came back about a year and a half ago to farm. Obviously, I felt very, very good that we'd set up this London business, but about a month ago, suddenly that collapsed. So it's been interesting times. But what I came back for was we basically had a family farm. It's been in the family for about 450 years. I've always wanted to farm it. It's a small holding, so we were never really encouraged because it was, the time, it was very difficult to make money from a small home. So I sort of decided the best way to try and make money was to go to London, create a market for high quality produce, then come back to Cornwall to do it. And then like last year, I actually had the chance. And the best way of doing that, 10 years ago, was approaching Philip Warren Butcher. So Ian is the son of Philip. Approached him 10 years ago and came up with the idea of supplying it. And then 10 years to create this business. So when I was in London, sort of trying to, it took about 2 years out just to try and learn about farming. Then one thing or another happened and I ended up coming back last year to take it over. So I've done a lot of traveling, a lot of time with the guys who do very good hamon in Extremadura. Spent quite a few summers with them, and I sort of realised that looking at the life cycle, I consider that the best in the world. I think, you know, we've obviously got very good meat ourselves with the Philip Warren butcher, but I think ham on, you know, just for me is my favourite. And I looked at the life cycle of a sheep, and I compared that to the life cycle of the Iberico pigs, and I could see similarities.
Yeah.
So what I decided to do was basically look at, to get a really good flavour into meat, you need an animal that's walked around a lot in its life, and then you need to put on a really good fat covering at the end. So what we look at doing, we basically buy retired sheep, so sheep that are basically yeah, so it's quite interesting. So it's basically a sheep that a farmer, so a farmer basically every year he'll replace 15% of his flock, and that 15%, so say he's got 100 sheep, 15 basically goes straight to the abattoir. I thought, why don't I buy those sheep instead, keep them on grass for 6 months to 12 months, get a decent bit of fat covering, give them a really nice retirement, and then obviously send them to slaughter. And basically, yeah, so we're doing that a year and a bit, and my hunter was right, really. We've just created, you know, I think a really pretty well a world-class meat in a very short space of time. You know, that's not me talking. We supplied lots of the chefs in London, and some really good people. You know, like I say, Jeremy Acquis, James Lowett. I've forgotten the name of his restaurant now. But yeah, some really top chefs, and they're sort of telling me that it's really high quality. So yeah, so that's it really. So basically, yeah, and what we sort of do, you put the fat covering on, because I work closely with the Warrens. They've got an incredible aging facility. We then put 6 weeks of age onto the carcass. So we, like Gizzie very rightly pointed out, we dry age it. And I think that 6 weeks, I think that was the missing ingredient for this. And the reason, go back to your point of cull. So my granddad, you know, someone I really look up to, obviously passed away a long time ago, but Yor is the Devon name. The actual farm is in Devon, so the Cornwall project is a lie in some ways. We've got one farm in Cornwall, one in Devon, but Yor is the local Devon name for ewe, and cull is basically because the sheep is going to be culled. So, yeah, and I think me and Gizzie might be talking about our various interactions with plant-based people, but I have a debate. I often have debate with the plant-based folks, and one of the debate was, you know, you farmers just hide behind nice names like retired dairy cow, and I was like, right, okay, fair enough. So I just thought, right, I'm going to call it cull. And I think because of the way I farm, I've got nothing to hide. You know, everything's what you see. Yeah. So anyway, I tend to talk quite a lot.
I think no, that's all right, Matt. That's fine. You're in good company. I think that, you know, that whole sort of need, to sort of like balance nature, dietary requirements, preferences. It's all symbiotic. It's got to create a balance. Of course, you know, it's the decision that somebody takes not to eat meat, but in order for the countryside and nature and pasture and biodiversity to exist in balance, then you still need that. You need an element of it. Matt, I've got a quick question for you about lamb fat, because the hogget is basically it's an older animal. It's not mutton, but it's still an older animal.
Yeah.
I find that hot lamb fat is delicious, and yet cold lamb fat sometimes is a little bit tricky. Well, how do you get around that?
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, this is the missing link between. I forgot to say something, but so basically, a lamb is between 0 and 1 years old. A hogget is between 1 and 2. My sheep tend to be about between 6 and 8 years old. After 6 years, so when I came up with my idea, I met Philip Warren, the father of Ian Warren, and I told him my idea, and his eyes lit up, and he said, "Right, I'll tell you something now." Philip Warren is just one of these guys who, you know, just knows everything about how you finish an animal. And he said that after 5 years old, sheep stop producing lanolin, so that sort of greasy flavour you get, lanolin. So that after 5 years old, they stop producing it. So they produce lanolin in their glands to waterproof their fleas. After 5 to 6 years, they stop doing it. So suddenly, what you'll find with this cull, and I didn't believe it until I actually tasted it, there's none of that tackiness. So the co-fat and the fat, you know, it's just a real clean flavour. And you know, brilliant. So it's quite interesting. Good question.
You're making my mouth water just hearing about it. So where can people order your lamb, Matt, or obviously the Philip Warren lamb?
Yeah. So you okay if I just explain something, because obviously when the restaurant, if I have 1 minute to explain, then I'll tell you. But when the restaurant shut, I basically had Ian Warren very kindly let me set up the cull business. It took off, but when the restaurant shut, we had 60 carcasses left. And he'd already paid from the way the warrants work is they pay their supplier up front. So he'd basically already paid me, and we had these 60 carcasses. So I basically had to get rid of them. I then told my social media followers what happened, and they bought them within like about a week. And I was like, so then on the back of that, we set up something called On the Pass. So warrensonthepass.co.uk. We basically approached a lot of the restaurants we work with, and we asked them, we've basically got a huge amount of meat in stock. Can you help us shift it? So basically they've been pushing on Instagram, pushing people to the site. And so within a very short space of time, I don't want to speak too much for Ian Warren's business himself, but, we've managed to clear a lot of that stock, and now we're actually killing animals again. We're paying farmers again. It's been a phenomenal time. So to buy, and the way we do it is we get people to pay up front, and we sell it in half carcasses. We then butcher it down for them. So at the moment we've got a lot sold, but we'll still hang it in our facility for 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. So people can go online, warrants on the pass.co.uk, buy your cull, and then we'll hang it for 4 or 5 weeks, and then send it to you when we think it's right. So yeah.
That's great.
And a bit of product placement in the back, by the way.
What, Rattler?
Boo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rattler. I completely forgot. I woke up to Matt's like, yeah, we're going to get on it and drink some Rattler. And I'm like, I'm literally just getting through my first Coca-Cola to be able to get me through the day.
And what we shouldn't really take away from the fact that people like Gizzie, who are supporting you and talking about you and getting the name out, as well as all the hard work that you do, is really.
But what I want to say more about Matt than anyone is, he sort of started saying about the sort of whole plant-based movement. Matt and I sort of have had very, well, interestingly, we're not butting heads isn't the right word, but I have a plant-based business, but I'm also really into looking after the producers and the producers who give a shit. And Matt jumped to my defense once because I was actually trying to, I was at another producer's, and I was, this was somebody who was doing something quite radical, like it was sort of high volume, better welfare, but much better welfare produce, but to trying to get it out to the masses. And I was holding a piglet in a picture, and I had so many death threats. I had like people find out where my mum lived and stuff like that. It was really bad. And Matt absolutely jumped to my defense, and we sat down for a long time and sort of tried to work out how we tackled this problem, which was, understanding that we needed to sort of stop intensive farming and really finding the science to prove how traditional methods really are restorative for the world and the earth and the soil. So it's been a big learning curve, but he's been my sidekick for like sustainability for years. And this guy, I don't really know many people who are more passionate about it. And we both had to like completely change our perceptions. I mean, even Matt would say himself, he kind of understands the whole vegan movement now a lot more. And
you're absolutely right. People are changing and adapting. Let me say this. What I've learned today is if I ever got into a spot of bother, I'd want Johnny Murt, Matt Chatfield, Gizzie Erskine and Ross Geach on my team. That's what I'd want.
That's all you need.
Especially Ross
I'm probably the most, not violent. I'm probably the toughest out of all of them.
Yeah, but and then I'd hide behind Jack.
Jack will be on the floor.
Can I say something about the regenerative agriculture, which I think Gizzie sort of hinting towards? So
okay, Matt, yes you can. And then I've got 2 quick questions because we've got people in the front row who've got a couple of things to say, but crack on, fella.
So basically what we're doing with regenerative agriculture is with the grazing we're doing Cornwall with the beef with the warrens, that's very much a natural system. What I'm looking at doing, we're interested with the vegans, because I had a lot of debates with them, I actually listened to them. And what I've based my whole farming system on is there's research suggests that 84% of people give up being a vegan within the first year. So you think there's probably within about 5 years there'll be 500,000 ex-vegans. I'm trying to create a farming system that those people would actually appreciate. I think they're a really interesting target market. So what we're actually doing is we're basically using sheep to regenerate the soil, put organic matter
I just want to show you that quickly. Wow. We're in the middle of a very good chat.
Sorry.
We stopped talking.
Okay. I don't know if you can see that from here.
Yes, we can.
I'm going to play that up while you guys are talking.
Okay,
so my final point is, so what we're actually doing is measuring the carbon sequestration. So as you graze cattle properly, you actually put carbon into the soil. So I'm now working with some scientists who are measuring my carbon. We're probably storing about 300 tons of carbon per acre from my system. So yeah, that's anyway, I'll stop talking now.
Do you know what? Listen, I could listen to you all day, Matt, and it's so important that people get to see how passionate people are about their produce, about what they're doing, because it's not an easy job. 2 questions. Well, actually, I've got 1 question and I've got a statement. So I've got a question from Steve Ashworth, who's followed us since the beginning. Hi, Steve. Nice to see you again.
Hi there.
Love Steve. I know Steve.
Hello, Gizzie.
So Steve's a bit of a secret chef himself, and I know he likes to follow Burnley. I hope you're not missing the football season too much, pal. But you're cooking the Persian lamb roast today, aren't you?
I am, yeah. It's in the oven at the moment. It's been in for a couple of hours now, so lots of Persian flavours going through it. Some pomegranate molasses, cumin, a few other spices, sumac, and everything going through it. So it's. To be honest, I'm having to disguise the flavours from my wife because she's not a lamb fan. I've been trying to move her across the lamb for a long time, but it's never her meat of choice.
Well, let's hope. It sounds like you're throwing some really lovely flavours at that, Steve. We had I'm experiencing just a little bit of a lag while you're talking, but it's cumin and sumac, that really kind of lovely citrusy berry.
Yeah. Just to give it some flavours, it's been just sort of with a pomegranate molasses spread across the top of it. So it's sitting nicely roasting. It's sat on some preserved lemons. Got some great ingredients from Belazu, who are great sort of Mediterranean and Eastern food providers. So it's
brilliant.
good.
And is that your recipe?
It's just one I've made up. Yeah.
Right, let's have it. Can we have it for our website?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Brilliant, mate. That's great.
Yeah.
Steve, I know that you've been following us since the beginning. We really do appreciate you jumping on and pledging on the crowdfunder website. It's been amazing to see you again. Right, and stick around, fella, and we might get you back on. Take care for now.
See you soon.
And see you, pal. Bye. Matt?
Yeah.
Matt, are you still there? Yep.
Yeah.
Great. I've got a big question here from Ross Geach. He says, cream on top or jam?
Yeah, because that's like that must be the worst person to ask.
Even though one of our family farms is in Devon, it's definitely a cream on top. I would never, and I genuinely think that's the only way. I think it's crazy to not do it. So yeah. Yeah,
World's gone mad. Right.
I mean, you could ask Geechie if we should have.
Sorry, mate. Ask him what?
No. I was a bit worried Geechie would come on here and start teasing me, but anyway, I'm quite relieved.
That's all right. That's all right. So, Matt, thank you for being such brilliant entertainment and showing your passion, and also being one of the best suppliers of lamb and ingredients, doing things the right way. And this is all about supporting people like you. So thanks very much for joining us. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Matt. Love you.
Bye. Gizzie, what a lovely little family of people you've gathered around you.
I am really lucky. I really am. I mean, it's, I'm sort of really, just in every capacity. I think I've worked really hard. I've been in the industry for a very long time, but people have always looked after me, and I'm very, very, very grateful for everyone, Brilliant. And I just, I'm constantly learning from all my mates, and I actually think I can teach my mates a thing or two now myself. So, no,
brilliant.
I love it.
You deserve all the success you're getting, and long may it continue. Thanks for joining us today.
Amazing. So, like I said, I'll pop all of the information on my Instagram, which is just GizzieErskine.com. And I'll also do a link through so people can see Andrew's food, which is another level too.
Okay, amazing.
And I'll show you this. I mean, it's looking absolutely stunning. I'm feeling very smug right now. So
can we have one last show of the lamb, please?
Mate,
Yes, please.
I don't know if you can see that. It's looking, it's really sick.
Amazing. Brilliant.
It's a sexy bit of me.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks also to
All right
Andrew.
then. Thank you for having me, and thank you to everyone who's putting money through to such a brilliant cause as well.
Brilliant. Take care.
See you later. Love,
Bye.
love. Bye. Eve.
Okay, folks. So thanks, Gizzie. That was brilliant. Bringing in people, suppliers, friends from the industry. Amazing, really lovely, busy session. And of course, we got to hear some amazing facts about how you can do the right thing by supporting local suppliers and using the best practice in order to get the best produce. Now, okay.